Welcome to Yoga with Cynthia. I'm Cynthia Bialik. I'm both the host and the producer of this program. And we come to you every week with a new aspect of yoga, a new emphasis. And today we're going to focus on the use of the block and the mat. So we are sitting on our blocks right now. Blocks look like this. You can get them in a variety of different materials. This one happens to be a soft foam block, which is really nice and comfortable to sit on. You could also sit on a cushion, but we're going to be using this block to show various uses to help you with your yoga poses. They provide stability. They provide a release for the joints, because while you're using the block, you're not having to work as hard to support your own body weight. So we're going to start today in easy pose. You can use the block or you can use a cushion. And we're going to start with our right leg in front of our left to start. So you're going to be like this. And before we get to the body of our class, we're going to do a little warming up here. So I want you to think about the core, driving the navel into the spine, and also your breathing. You're breathing deeply in through the nose. You're exhaling out back through the nose. Nice focused breath. So we're going to start with our breaths. Open the chest here. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, watch me now. We're going to bring the knees in towards our chest. We're going to wrap the arms around the knees and let the head come right into the knees. Just squeeze. So you really feel those shoulder blades pulling apart. You feel the erector spiny muscles stretching from the base of the tailbone to the top of your neck. Then we're going to open, drop those legs down, deep breath in once again. Exhale and draw the knees into your chest, round out the spine. Now this time you're going to drop the legs down and traction the spine, lifting the rib cage up high. Open the arms in a V. Then take your right hand down and bring your left arm over your ear. Just stretching up as high as you can towards the right side of your ceiling there. And then take the arms back up in a V. Hold tall here. Take your left hand down and bring the right arm over towards the left side of the room. Stretching the lats, stretching the ribs apart. Keep your head on the horizon. And then once again, bring those arms up in the air in a V. And this time, we're going to try to reach back. Take your time. Take your fingers back there. And if you can, press down into the heels of your hands. Pull your rib cage up so your back is an extension. And then lastly, we're going to go into flexion. So bring your hands forward and start to climb to your elbows, and then let your head drop. Now we're going to go through that same sequence with the other leg in front. You'll have a different feeling through the hips there, depending on which one of your hips are tighter. Okay, now once again, opening the chest, lift the rib cage in extension. As we bring the knees into your chest, in flexion, draw the shoulder blades apart, bring the head into your knees, hold there. And then once again, drop those knees down, deep breath in. Exhale, pull those knees in. Tuck your chin. Bring the arms back out. Bring those arms up in the air. This time we're going to fall over to the left first. Bring that right arm over. And then bring your left arm over. Traction the spine, arms up in the air. Lift that chest as high as you can. Then bring the arms back behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blade as tightly together as you can. Expose the chest to the ceiling, and then pull forward, reach for the mat, send your head down there. All right, let's come off our block. Okay. Okay, and let's look at all the different uses of our block. We're going to go ahead and start with our left leg out in front of us. We're going to place that block underneath our right hand. Now, because our blocks are a softer foam, you can actually almost make an imprint of your hand on the block. There's a little give there. One of the issues in yoga tends to be, for some, that over time their wrists really gets fatigued. It's a lot of pressure on the wrists. But by coming up on the block, first of all, you're up a little higher. You can focus on the lift of the chest. And when you push the heel of your hand, there's a little give to it. So go ahead and put your hand on the block, rotate in on your left foot and the top of your right shin. Bring that left arm in the air. Those of you that want to, add that extra bit of challenge. Slide your right leg in front of your left and keep your hips up in the air. Open your left hand. Keep those abs nice and strong. Then turn your hand to the back of your mat and pull over. Stretching all the way back to the rear of your mat. In Vasasana, side arm balance. Stay strong. Now we're going to bend that right knee again and come down into that right hip. Bring both arms up in the air and fold out over your left leg. See if you can bring your nose and knee together. Now come back up and bring your hands back behind you. Lift your rib cage in the air. Pull back into extension. And let's switch. Slide your left leg over. You're going to bring your left hand back behind your hip. Get ready to rotate in on your right foot and your left shin. Reach up with your right arm. And if you want that extra challenge, take your left foot in front of your right. Keep lifting those hips up. Then take your hand back. Keep pushing those hips to the ceiling as you look up in the air. Hold strong. 2 more deep breaths. On the last exhale, bend that left leg. Have a seat. All right, and move your block. Bring both arms back. Lift your chest in the air. All right. Now, we're going to bring those feet together in Baddha Konasana. And we're going to go ahead and slide the block underneath your feet. That gets your feet a little closer to your head. You're going to hold on to the ends of the feet and slowly pull your head to your heels. Now it's time for some serious extension. We're going to be coming up on our knees. And if being on your knees poses you any problems at all, feel free to get a blanket or a towel to fold underneath your knees. You're going to take your block, place your block on the outside of your right foot. For those of you that struggle with low back tenderness upon doing any extension work in yoga, this is going to assist your back extensions. So we're going to stabilize the pelvis. And if you're not sure how wide you should have your knees apart, you want to make sure that you can move your pelvis. If your knees are too close together, sometimes you lock your pelvis and you can't get your tailbone to drop. If you bring your knees comfortably apart, maybe even shoulder distance apart, oftentimes it's easier to press your thigh bones forward and release that low back. So that's what we want to start with, is a released low back. We want to lengthen the front of the body, stretching the erector spinae muscles. We're going to plant the right hand back on the block and reach up with your left arm. Look over that left thumb and now start to reach back. Keep reaching back over your left shoulder. Looking up in the air, stay there. Continue lifting your chest as high as you feel comfortable. And now come back down, take the block on the other side, and here we go. Shrug your shoulders, set your thigh bones forward, drop your tailbone down, lift the rib cage up, place your left hand on the block, take your right arm in the air, and then move back as much as you feel comfortable. Now come back up, and we're going to plant that block out in front of your mat. We're going to plant those hands on the block. This is a really good way to stretch those shoulders. If you need to have the block lower, you can feel free and move it on its other side like this. I'll demonstrate like that. And so you're going to bring that head through those elbows and let your head just stretch those shoulders. There, your hips to your heels. Just focus on the shoulder stretch. And now come back up. And we're going to go ahead and have a seat on that mat. And now at this time, we're going to roll down our mats and we're going to be supporting our pelvis. And we're going to start with the block at the lowest level. So the block is going to be just under the pelvis. And we're going to start by just relaxing the psoas muscles, stretching them out passively because we just worked at really stretching the whole front of the body. So let's reach back and just get the body to relax for a moment, because we're going to demand, again, a lot of quad strengthening and glute strengthening and hamstring strengthening. So let's begin that. Let's slide your heels back towards the block and push into the heels, and this is two-legged pose. We're going to bring the hands down and we're going to support two-legged pose by flipping the block over one level. So now our shoulders are in alignment, our hands are reaching towards our heels, but we're not tucking the shoulders too far under the back. We're just stretching the shoulders gently, and we're stretching the rectus abdominis, and we're stretching the quads. If you want to try going up into bridge pose, Satupasana, we're going to push into the heels and see if we can get that block a little higher. Now, Irene's going to stay where she is. I'm going to come up a little higher. And now I'm going to start to tuck my shoulders under and reach out for my ankles. And I'm going to hold bridge pose here. Now, if you want to try a leg lift, you can release one hand and push up with one heel. Flex your foot up in the air. Stretch up as high as you can towards the ceiling. Bring that leg down, grab a hold of it with your right hand. Release the left hand. Push up with your left heel. Hold it there. Bring that leg down, and then once again, if you can, grab those ankles, push into the mat. Some of you may be able to lift off the block, holding bridge pose. Now slide the block out from underneath you, and we're going to bring the block between the legs once again, because now we're going to do a lying twist. We're going to bring those legs at 90 degrees. Push the knees against the block. Bring your arms straight out from the shoulders, and we're going to roll over to our right hip. And now, at the same time, we're going to turn that left hand so it's facing up. Lean back into the left shoulder. Expose the chest to the ceiling, twisting the spine. Feeling the internal, external obliques lengthening. Feeling the lengthening across the front of your chest, across your shoulder, down the bicep to your fingertips. Feeling your low back stretching. Feeling your IT band perhaps, the glute medius and minimus. Now come back to center, and we're going to roll over to the other side. Drop into those hips, and open the chest back to your right. Look to the right, drop that shoulder down. Slow your breaths. Remember, the breath is in and out through the nose with your mouth closed. Now slowly return to the center of the mat. And once again, we're going to put that block back underneath the hips. And we're going to bring both legs up in the air in a modified shoulder stand. We're starting to lift the hips and shift our weight towards our shoulders. If you feel that you can shift the weight onto the shoulders, start to lift your hips and put it on that next level. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. You want to feel like you're sitting on the fleshy part of the back of the shoulders. If that works for you and you feel like you can go up another level, go ahead and lift up to the... Go ahead and sit the block underneath your pelvis there. Keeping those shoulder blades back and down. You can interlace your fingers in front of the block, staying steady and strong there. Now from there, if you feel steady and strong, you may be able to lift your pelvis up all together and come. Then take one leg up and shoulder stand. And back into plow. Now let's move the block and roll back down slowly into the mat. Now we're going to bend the knees and bring the block between those knees. And I want you just to focus a little bit on your core here. We're going to bring those arms out from the shoulders and contract the core. Drive the navel into the spine. Stay there. Then pull back slowly into the mat. Bring those arms over your shoulders. Breathe in there. And exhale, start to come up. Roll up towards your knees. Bring your arms up in the air. Deep breath. Exhale, come down to the knees. And then inhale, reach back. Exhale, pull up to your knees. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale, pull back. Inhale and reach. Exhale and lift. Inhale and reach. Exhale and down. Inhale and back. Two more. Exhale and up. Inhale and reach. Exhale and down. Inhale and back. Last one. Exhale and reach. Inhale and up. Exhale and hold. Now, grab a hold of that block. Bring that block up in the air. And now lift your legs using the strength of your quads, the strength of your back, the strength of your psoas muscles. Hold strong. Deepen your breath there. 4 more deep breaths. Now, before we go into our final relaxation, we're going to bring those feet down, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this a little better. And Irene's going to do it where she is, but I'm going to place the block underneath my shoulder blades. So when I come down, my rib cage is lifted up. I'm going to place my shoulder blades down and extend my legs out. More extension in your thoracic spine in a passive way, so your body's used to this, and it can help you deepen some of your other poses like your upward dog, your cobra, even your camel's pose, your Astrasana pose, bridge pose, dancer's pose, numerous extension poses. Continue your deep breaths. Now reach all the way back, stretch as long as you can. We're going to cross the arms over our shoulders. We're going to tuck the chin into the chest, bend the knees before you come up, and then slowly pull towards your thighs and roll up. Good. That can be very intense, and you can do it on a higher level as well. So as you continue to build your flexibility, you can go ahead and build your own challenge. So we're going to start today by coming down before we go into corpse pose. We're going to tuck our left heel underneath our right and stretch those inner thighs there. Take your right heel over in a supine half lotus. Bring those arms back over your shoulders, open the palms, and just let those hips release. Then we're going to switch and take your right leg onto your left. Bring your left leg over your right and drop that knee down. Keep stretching back. Now we're going to uncross those legs and stretch that body really long. Flex your feet, push the heels up, reach back as far as you can. And then we're going to start shaking those legs a little bit. All right, now turn your palms face up. And just allow your head to move from one shoulder to the other. Just relax the neck. And we don't spend enough time on our restorative poses and relaxation. So I want to spend a few more minutes on corpse pose today. But before I do, I want to thank you for viewing today's program. Until next time, namaste. But stay with us because I'm going to walk you through corpse pose. So we're going to keep our arms right by our hips. We're going to push into our heels. And I want you just to move the balls of your feet around in big circles. And then shake them back and forth, just like windshield wipers. And then just let your legs become still. But notice that they're totally relaxed. And then scan your body for tightness from the heels up. Notice the parts of the body that are touching the floor. Your heels, your calves, the back of your thighs, your buttocks. And as you move up, your hands, the back of your hands, the elbows, your shoulders, your shoulder blades, the back of your head. So now close the eyes, keep your mouth closed, and just breathe deeply in and out. The mouth closed. So we're going to go through a cycle of 8 slow breaths.